From the High Definition Production Center of Troy University's Broadcast and Digital Network and Troy campuses around the world, this is Troy TrojanVision Weekly.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision Weekly. We're glad you joined us for this look at what's happening in and around Troy University. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. Last week marked the start of summer semester at Troy University, and while the summer is usually a time for rest for students, Kaylin Pleasure shows us why some students have decided to stick around.
While most students are out traveling, working, or move back home for the summer, a few students take the initiative to tell us why they have chosen to enroll in Troy University's 2018 summer courses.
I decided to choose summer school because I just wanted to get ahead in my education and just pursue my degree quicker. For me, it's kind of just like, I just kind of want to get a lot out of the way. I missed the first semester of school, so it's kind of just helping me get back to where I should be right now.
I took a year off between freshman and sophomore year, and I need to graduate college before my younger sister graduates high school.
The reason why I want to take summer classes is just to get a head start. I'm wanting to graduate early. Or just on time, and I had to take some remedial classes, so just taking classes in the summer just helps me catch up.
I really wanted to graduate, and so I took a lot of summer classes to try and further that. I'm kind of traveling. I have a class that requires me to travel to take photography. I have a full 12 hours, and most of them are 1 hour, so I'm not sure how many classes, but I have a full 12-hour load.
A few students have shown us that enrolling in summer courses is a way to be a step closer to graduation and could take a load off your fall schedule. Troy University's summer courses are held from May 28 through June 26. Kaylin Pleasure, Troy TrojanVision News.
There are graduates from Troy University that have excelled in a variety of fields. However, one alum who got his start on the airways here in Troy, only to go on to work in the halls of Congress, is being recognized through an exhibit in the area he once served in Washington. Seth Carpenter has the details.
A Troy University alumnus and his lifetime of work is being honored in an exhibit at the T.T. Wentworth Museum in Pensacola. The exhibit, Kant Fields to Congress, traces the life of Earl Hutto, a 1949 graduate of Troy. From his humble beginnings working in Kant Fields to his military service, his decades as a broadcaster, and eventually his time serving Florida in the nation's capital. The exhibit features plenty of memorabilia from his 8 terms of service in Congress. Hutto reflects on what those years meant to the people and the area he served.
But helping my constituents and keeping the Navy going good and the Air Force good at Eglin was very pleasing to me that I could do that. And I thank the people also for keeping me there for 16 years. And I believe I could have gone on, but we thought that 16 years was enough.
And before he moved to Washington, he was known by many in the Panhandle for his years of work as a broadcaster, including his famous sign-off from his sports broadcasts.
I remember I came up with a saying, in the game of life, as in any game of ball, play it clean, play it fair, or not at all. I did that because Grantland Rice, the great writer, had said, when one great scorer comes to write against your name, it is not whether you won or lost, but how you play the game. And so I think since I was having a daily sportscast, I should have some. So I came up with that. In the game of life, as in any game of ball, play it clean, play it fair, or not at all.
Hutto got his start in broadcasting while in school at Troy, and the Hutto legacy at Troy will continue as his granddaughter will be attending with a plan to major in elementary education. She says her grandfather was excited when he heard the news.
I've always heard about it. But when I started deciding to come choose on in college, I started looking at Troy because I knew my grandpa went there and saw pictures of it, absolutely fell in love with it, came to it, and I knew from the moment I stepped on campus that was where I was supposed to be. Once I told them I was interested in going to Troy, both my grandma and my grandpa were on cloud 9. They were so excited and talk about it every single time they see me, tell everyone that they see.
Seth Carpenter, Troy TrojanVision News.
Every summer, incoming freshmen get to know their new college home during Impact Orientation. And with the help of Impact leaders, the new students have the chance to become familiar with the campus. However, before that, those leaders need to learn a little bit about campus themselves. Joshua Thomas has the details.
It's summertime here at Troy University, which can only mean one thing: preparing for incoming freshmen, and on Wednesday afternoon, we got an inside look on the training needed for Impact.
Right now, we're going through training with the Impact leaders. They've got 2 weeks of meeting with departments and different organizations and things like that around campus, try to get as much knowledge as possible to help these incoming students.
Impact leader Aaron Dixon comments on how training has gone for its newest members.
So far, so good. We just started training on Monday, and right now we're just kind of learning about all the different majors and all the different programs on campus to kind of get a better knowledge of it, just to see where students might want to go when they come through.
For students who may want to become Impact leaders next summer, here are a few requirements you might not know about.
To be an Impact leader, just as far as physical requirements, we're looking for at least a 2.2 GPA. And to be returning as a student the next fall. But as far as, soft skills, I guess, looking for people who can really communicate and connect with the incoming students and really get them fired up about Troy.
Grant hopes that the Impact leaders through this training gain knowledge in order to better help future students.
Well, I hope they're gaining as much information about the actual departments as possible, because they do serve as the academic advisors for the students on that first semester.
For those of you who feel you may not have what it takes to be an Impact leader, here's a word of advice.
I think anybody can do it. I think anybody can be an Impact leader if you really love Troy and you really like to be involved and like to, schedule, and you like to plan for people's futures and just help people out.
Joshua Thomas, Troy, TrojanVision News.
This year, Troy University started an initiative to reward acts of kindness displayed by members of the Troy University family. Paige Weeks introduces us to the first Trojan recognized.
On Wednesday afternoon, Troy University presented its first ever Trojan Heart Award designed to recognize acts of kindness in the Trojan community.
It's to celebrate the wonderful community we have here at Troy University. It goes to a student, faculty, or staff that really embodies the heart to feel and the body to act. And that comes from our motto when we were first established. And we want to celebrate good deeds or good work in the community, and they get $1,000 for their nonprofit of choice.
The winner of the first Trojan Heart was Ashley Calloway, a student on Troy's Dothan campus. She was recognized for her work with the Chick Time charity in the Dothan area, a group that assists with the Baptist Children's Home.
So we are, Dothan is one of almost 50 chapters across the country that helps women connect to volunteer opportunities in their own communities where they can serve women and children of abuse. So each chapter serves one charity partner once a month for every month of the year, and you go and you mentor, do different activities with the kids or the women, just really try to be the bright spot in their lives, the fun aunt for the day.
As the winner, Calloway's $1,000 will go toward Chick Time, and she says it will make for a great day for the Children's Home residents.
Our ABCH babies are about to get spoiled. We always, anytime we have any type of donation, we always turn around and spend it on them, help fund maybe a field trip, Christmas gifts, just doing something fun just to make their day a little bit better.
The Trojan Heart Award was initiated by Troy University First Lady Janice Hawkins, who said the winner far exceeded expectations.
It's what I hoped for. It isn't really what I expected because it's so much bigger. I'm thinking in terms of an act of kindness that someone happened upon, or the organizations, the Greek system, and what the ATOs just did in that march for the wounded warriors. I'm thinking like that, and these 3 finalists and the one that won, it's just beyond my imagination that they're doing that plus getting a degree.
Hawkins says this will be the first of many Trojan Heart Awards given by the school. Paige Weeks, Troy, TrojanVision News.
We'll take a short break. When we return, we'll get a glimpse of what went on during this week's Alabama Governor's Youth Leadership Forum on campus. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Maybe you know that tobacco and drinking alcohol can increase your risk of developing oral or throat cancer, but the fastest growing cause of these cancers is the HPV virus, or the human papillomavirus. In fact, if you have HPV, you are 30 times more likely to get oral cancer, and it is affecting young people with increasing frequency. That's why everyone should perform an oral cancer self-exam each month. Stand in front of a mirror in a well-lit area. Feel the inside of your lips and cheeks, the roof of your mouth, the front and back of your gums, in all the surfaces of your tongue. Look for lumps, bumps, sores that don't heal, or discolored patches. Oral cancer can happen to anyone. Early detection is the key to a cure. If you find anything unusual, see your general dentist or an oral and facial surgeon as soon as possible.
Hart, what's going on? I'm leaving. Why? What did I do? Not enough. You constantly ignore me. You barely eat anything healthy. You're half as active as you used to be. The pressure is just too much. I quit. Okay, I get it. I'll do better. Just please, don't leave. Okay, but remember, if I go, you go.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
Now back to Troy TrojanVision News Weekly.
This past week, the Alabama Governor's Youth Leadership Forum took place on the Troy campus, giving students with disabilities lessons on how to become more independent adults through a variety of leadership building activities. Paige Weeks gives us a look at some of what the delegates learned about.
I love it, to meet new people and just to explore a little bit.
Delegates from across the state met together on Troy University's campus to kick off this year's Youth Leadership Forum.
This week we want to teach them those skills of how they can leave here and feel better about doing things independently rather than depending on others.
The YLF is a 4-day-long camp designed to help young adults with disabilities learn to advocate for themselves and prepare for their future careers.
A lot of our students here, they are graduating or about to graduate or just graduated. So a lot of them are very interested in college and how they get out into the work field. So we stress a lot of that, how they can do that.
The delegates are led by counselors, many of who are past YLF delegates. Throughout the week, the delegates meet with other disabled individuals and learn more about independent living.
Delegates have a jam-packed schedule filled with conferences, lectures, and panels. In addition, a trip to the local movie theater, the state capitol, and a talent show.
According to many of the delegates, this week is not only a chance to learn life skills, it is also an opportunity to meet new friends and form friendships that will last a lifetime.
Even though it's only 4 days, it feels like a lifetime. And it's just, you get to know people and know their stories and know what they've been through. And it's just, you just kind of just want to stay.
And some of those lessons learned at the Youth Leadership Forum came through workshops, like one on Wednesday afternoon, that helped the delegates explore career options. However, as Taylor Pollock shows us, it isn't just the delegates that are taking away valuable lessons this week.
Today, Troy University's Why I Left Leadership Forum got the chance to explore different career paths that are available based on their personal interests.
We have career exploration to kind of learn about different careers that are out there. We have different activities to help them gain knowledge and skills to improve their independent living, their self-advocacy.
The forum, which is for students with disabilities in grades 11 through 12, held this session in order to educate students about the workforce, including information on taxes.
Why I Left not only benefits delegates who participate, many Troy University student staff members say that this is a learning experience for everyone who helps out.
It's in our major, so it helps get us hands-on experience with people. Actually, I haven't ever worked with anybody with a disability or anything, and so it's actually better than reading from a textbook, oh hi, this is how you're supposed to do this and that. It's better to get hands-on and actually talk with people.
I think it's super important for our campus to have these kind of people because we learn from them so much. Like, I've already learned so much from them. I think it's so great that Troy University hosts this because it shows that Troy cares, they don't discriminate, and they're giving back to the community and the state as a whole.
We're going to take another quick break, but when we come back, we'll learn about a way the Troy Fire Department is working to make homes in the community a little safer. That story is right after this.
So they say it's a man's world? Well, I don't see anybody's name on it. While they were out doing their thing, we slowly changed all that. We changed all that. Today, women can do anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.
So I've come up with a family emergency plan.
Great. What is it?
It's difficult to talk about, so I'm not telling you.
How will we know what to do?
You won't.
I'm so glad I won't have to remember anything.
And me too. Thanks for this, sweetie.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
Now back to Troy Trojan Vision News Weekly.
The Troy Fire Department is helping some Troy residents make their homes a little safer. And they're doing so by offering for free a simple little device that makes a big noise exactly when you need it. Dory Hughes has more.
With smoke detectors being a needed common household item, the Troy Fire Department is giving away free smoke detectors for people in the community.
We received an allotment of smoke detectors from the Fire College, which is located in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And it's an initiative that we're doing together with the State Fire Marshal's Office to try to raise awareness for home fire safety.
Something as simple as having a smoke detector properly installed can reduce further damage done to your home or your family.
It's very beneficial. That's probably one of the top things that people can do at home for home fire safety is have an actual working smoke alarm.
For individuals wanting to set up an installation, they can contact the fire department.
Part of the program that we're doing is we will do the installation for the homeowner. We require a waiver and a application form to be completed. Basically, they can just call the fire station at 566-5943 and let the person know that the answers that they want to inquire about having a smoke alarm installed.
Adoria Hughes, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Once again, to get one of the free smoke detectors from the Troy Fire Department, residents can give them a call at 566-5943 to request one of the devices. And Troy's Johnson Center for the Arts currently features the work of a Troy resident who transitioned in being to a visual artist late in life. Seth Carpenter has the story.
One of the newest exhibits at the Johnson Center is The Creative Expression of Life by Ruth Walker. She has works ranging in age from 1979 to as new as last year, but almost all of her works are influenced by one of her favorite artists.
One of my favorite people that I have book and instruction from was an artist called Covino, and I liked his style. I liked the realism in his paintings and the methods by which he obtained especially his portraits, and he was one of my favorites.
Walker is also a former Troy University employee and retired in 2000. Since retiring, she has found inspiration for her paintings from a new place, her gardening.
We have many garden rooms, which are what I really enjoy doing, and many of my paintings are the gardens is a resource for paintings.
In some of Walker's works, like the work behind me called Sunset, she takes a blank canvas and puts herself where she wishes she could be. She calls it mind painting.
A main painting is I put a canvas on the easel and with nothing really in mind at that point, and I think about what would I like to be doing or where would I like to be or something of that nature, and then I start painting and wind up with a very decent painting.
Seth Carpenter, Troy, TrojanVision News.
For anyone who wants to see the exhibit, the Johnson Center for the Arts is open Wednesday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays from 10 to 3, and is located on Walnut Street in downtown Troy. Well, it's time for our last break, but when we return, we'll learn about this year's Summer Spotlight on Theater and Dance. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Did you go to the schoolyard? Calm down. Where did you look? We can make a plan somehow. If I just.
He's a smart boy, and he's gonna be okay.
Okay, try to call him again.
There's no reception right now. Everything is down.
Try.
I can't.
Try already.
Nothing's working.
Well, just
Everything's
try.
down.
Do you think he's on his way? Please. Is he okay?
Laura.
Please tell me he's okay.
I need you to calm down.
Why, that's my baby. This is so bad. He's out there by himself.
Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov.
So they say it's a man's world? I don't see anybody's name on it.
While they were doing their thing, we slowly changed all that.
Today, women can do anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.
So who's going to do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice. And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
We couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
Now back to Troy TrojanVision News Weekly.
This summer, Troy University's Department of Theater and Dance will be in the spotlight in another country as they'll take a trip to Italy to perform this summer. We'll learn more about that in this week's Trojan Talk. Hello and welcome to Trojan Talk. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. My guests today are Tori Averett and Patrick Jackson, here to talk about a trip to Italy being made by the Theater and Dance Department. Thank you both for joining me here today.
Thanks for having us, Aaron.
And the trip to Italy, it's now become kind of a tradition for you all. You went last year. You're returning to Italy for a series of performances. But kind of just tell us a little bit of the background about this and how you ended up getting there and why you're going back.
So we are going there officially for the DAP Festival, which is an international arts festival that began as dance and visual arts. And our connection to that festival came from Adria Ferrali, who is the artistic director of the festival. She's worked in the Montgomery River region with ballet companies there, and she was one of our adjunct instructors, in the Department of Theater and Dance in fall of 2016. Last year was the inaugural year of the festival, and Troy students were invited to perform and participate, take classes, things like that for this 2-week festival. And once we got there and had the experience, we realized very quickly that this needed to be sort of something that Troy does every year. And this year, going back, we've expanded our participation from just dance to now theater, musical theater, and music. We're taking a group of musicians, classical guitar students.
Oh, and you talk about it was primarily dance, but you did have someone go last year that wasn't a dancer, Patrick here, but you still participated, and this year your role is going to kind of expand over there as well with this new addition that they've added, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, last year we took an original piece called Rosa in Sepia based off of the painting by Noll, and we got about 10 dancers, and I played the saxophone, and we it was honestly a beautiful thing because all of us collaborated and all of us throwing out ideas, and it was and the Italians received it like really, really, really well.
And obviously, this is kind of a once-in-a-lifetime experience that you're getting to experience twice. You're getting to travel to Italy and perform and be a part of this international festival. I know that's got to be exciting for you.
Yeah, it's a blessing. And you know, last year it was my first time ever out of the country last year. And you know, like you read about it and all of this stuff, but it's nothing like actually going and experiencing being in the culture of Italy.
And being a part of this, and Tori, obviously, when you're teaching these students in the program, the dance and the theater, you know, you think the audience is probably going to be fairly local, but then when you expand it like this, it's got to open up all kinds of possibilities.
It does, and it really challenges this idea you hear all the time that arts are the universal language, things like that. We have really challenged that and seen it to be true. Our work was really well received. Our students were really gracious. Their performances did cross cultural boundaries, and again, as Patrick said, it was really, really well received. The music, the dance, the storytelling that we did, even though there was a language barrier there. So we're going to continue that this year.
And it is both performance and educational, though, right? Because you're learning and performing throughout this trip while you're over there, and that I think that's got to be an interesting kind of dynamic there, in being both performance and education while you're there.
Yes, it's really interesting. Obviously, we train the students here to do what they're going to do there, but once they get there, they will train again with international teaching artists from a variety of countries. They will get to work with peers from other countries, so they're training together, again, letting the work speak for itself. But then they also get some opportunities to share what they've created here, original work that they've made, which is really exciting for our student choreographers and performers, musicians, to get to take work to Italy to share. It's really neat. So yeah, you're right. It is a blend of sort of this academic training and this performance artistry that they are hoping to do for their careers.
And you said you're expanding into theater this year, and Patrick, that's a little bit of what you're going to get involved with, is some of the theater part of this, the expanded part of the trip. How does that make you feel about expanding your role in the trip this year?
You know, I was hoping last year, after last year, we would incorporate more theater because Tori taught a theater class last year to a bunch of Italian dancers, and I think maybe one of them could speak English. And you know, that I talk about all the time, I think that was one of the most artistically filling moments ever, teaching that class and us doing sign language and miming, and everybody but we all got it. It was beautiful.
And lay it out there, like you said, it's, you know, universal language once you get down to it. But really, truly, when you get over there and you perform, it's got to feel amazing to be, especially in a place where most of the arts were born from.
Oh yes, and getting to see other performers. There are students and guest artists that come from Denmark, Russia, Spain, London, Paris, New York, Los Angeles, Asia, all around the world, and they travel the world. And it's thrilling for our students to get to see the different performance styles and the different skills. There are incredibly skilled people who come to teach and perform at this festival.
And I was thinking, this has got to open some connections with your performers and getting there that they may not have access to otherwise.
Yes, and actually one of the things that we experienced last year, the teachers, the instructors, the guest artists who were staging pieces that involved our students all would come and say, where is Troy? What is Troy University? What are you doing there? Our students were well received, they were eager, they absorbed opportunity and instruction like that, and so all of the artists were eager to add them to their networks, and we've even collaborated with some of the artists since then and hope to do that more this year.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be a fun trip, and good luck on the trip this year, and I know we're going to hear probably plenty of good stories from whenever you return, but thanks for joining me here today.
Thank you for having us.
All right, and thank you for joining us on today's edition of Trojan Talk. And that's what happened this week. To find out what's happening throughout the week, you can tune into Troy TrojanVision News at 5, 6:30, and 10:30 Monday through Thursday, or anytime by following us on Twitter at Troy TV News. Also, feel free to like our Troy TrojanVision News fan page on Facebook to see online content from Troy TrojanVision News. We hope you join us again next week for another edition of Troy TrojanVision Weekly. Have a good week.